Push-pull leg splits and upper-lower splits seem to be quite common knowledge these days, and I like to think I have a bit of a part in that, considering that I've made some videos that have blown up about these two splits. But anyways, it's besides the point. The point is that there's still a 5-day-a-week split that a lot of people aren't aware of that's sort of a hybrid between the two, and I want to bring this split to you, explain how you can create your own, because, well, there's some people out there who just want to work out 5 days a week. So let's get to it. What's good, YouTube? It is Coach John back again, repping Beyond the Iron. I drop weekly content on this channel helping you get your fitness goals, fat loss, muscle gain, and just overall lifestyle goals to become a better version of yourself. So if you're interested in doing any of those things or all of them, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and the like button as well. Especially if you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. Now, I do want to say that if you're looking for workout programs to help you get to these goals or coaching, you can access all that stuff down in the links below. Also, I do want to mention before I dive into the content that this is not going to explain why this split is superior and going into the basic fundamentals of the split, as I've already made videos covering that as well as all the other types of split you can do, so you can click up in the cards up there if you want to check that out. Rather, this video is just going to be exactly how you can construct the workout split for 5 days a week. Maybe that's all you have available, maybe that's your preference, maybe that's what your schedule is best for, and so at the end I'm going to break down and show you a sample workout according to everything that I break down in here. I'll make one for you just to show you how simple it can really be. Now, it's obvious that most people with 5 days a week still do one body part per week types of training splits, also known as bro splits. Now, it has been shown over the last couple of decades through tons of research and studies that for the majority of people, it's probably going to be more ideal to have a higher frequency type of a split. In other words, hitting each body part more than once a week. And in this case, we're gonna hit it twice a week. Now, how the split is set up for 5 days, like I said, it's a hybrid between upper, lower, and push-pull legs. In fact, that is what the split is. It is a upper day, lower day, push day, pull day, and leg day. So those are your training days. Typically, you're gonna have 2 rest days since there's 7 days a week. Hopefully you got that part there, bud. It's going to be something like a upper day, lower day rest, push-pull legs rest. That's an example of how you can do it, but just keep that in mind. So the first thing we need to do here is, of course, choose the days. Now, I get this all the time. People are stressing over or overthinking about, how do I split this up? Is it okay if I do push-pull legs first, then upper lower, or should I do upper lower, then push-pull legs? Is it okay if I do push-pull legs, rest, upper, rest, lower? Is it okay if I do rest, upper, rest, lower, push-pull? It's fine, okay? Just pick the days that work best for you. If you've got every day free to work out, then what I would recommend is doing an upper day, a lower day, then resting after that, as they are taxing workouts and you've covered the whole body already in those first 2 days, and then going to the push-pull legs and then resting again. So in this case, let's say, for example, Monday's upper, Tuesday's lower, Wednesday is rest day, and then you're going to come back with a push day on Thursday, Friday can be pull day, Saturday leg day, and Sunday rest day. Anything like that is probably ideal, but again, it's not going to be that much of a difference. If you have to, for whatever reason, split it up in a different way, wherever you put those rest days, you can in fact do all of those workouts back to back and rest on the weekend and restart. It's not that big of a deal. Just pick the days. That's step number one. Once you've picked your days, the next thing to do is to pick your compound exercises, because again, remember, compound exercises are going to be the bread and butter of all of your gains throughout your lifetime, and they are what make up the core of your workouts. So if we're going to go through some lists of basic compounds that you can do for each, the push, the pull, and the legs, right, the upper days, we're going to look at things like, for your push days, any variation of a chest press and any variation of a shoulder press is essentially a compound lift. This includes push-ups, incline variations, decline, dumbbells, barbells, etc. Some common ones being the bench press with a bar, the bench press with dumbbells, overhead press, and those types of things. Machines also count as compounds, though I do recommend making the primary exercises free weight compound exercises. Now, on the pull days, or any sort of pulling exercise that you can do that's a compound, you've got bent over rows, chin-ups, or pull downs, you've got cable rows, and any variations of these types of exercises. Again, machines can fit into this category. Now, for legs, you've got plenty of compounds here. Any variation of squats, any variation of deadlifts, hip thrusts, lunges, leg press, hack hack squat, all of those count as compound lifts. Remember, this means lifts that include multiple joints moving at the same time. Pick those core ones. Pick what you're gonna start with on each day. Your upper day, maybe you wanna start with a back exercise, great. Maybe it's a chin up, perfect. Maybe you wanna start with a push, maybe it's a bench or an overhead press, choose that. Then you've got your leg day. You wanna start with a variation of squat or deadlift, choose one. Then the push day, obviously you're gonna start with some sort of compound for pushing. Same thing with the pull, some sort of a pull compound. And then the legs, you can switch from what you started with on the previous leg day. You can start with a deadlift variation instead of a squat variation, or just a different variation of the squat. That's up to you. But again, this is what you want to pick first. Do not overthink it. One is not better than the other necessarily. That's going to come over time as you practice these lifts, as you learn which ones you love more, which ones you respond to better, and so on. For now, pick some main lifts and let's get started with those. Okay, the next step, now that you have your main compounds, the core of your workout, next is choosing the rep and set ranges. Now, the best part about the hybrid split, okay, is that it is hybrid in multiple ways. In this case, you can actually have a good mix of both strength and hypertrophy work within the week. So you can actually work on both quite well. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as focusing just on one, but you do have that luxury since the first days are an upper and a lower and then followed by a rest day. In fact, it should have a rest day on both sides. Let's say if you choose the ideal route that I mentioned before, you've got a rest day on both sides of that. And so you can go with heavier weights, lower reps, higher sets, higher intensities that will work more on strength, building that strength foundation. Remember, strength reps would typically be between 1 to 6 reps, typically higher sets, 4 to 6 sets, for example, sometimes more, but you get the point. It's lower reps, higher weight. You can do this on your upper day and your lower day to start. And then after that rest day following that, when you go to the push-pull legs, you can work on hypertrophy training. Now remember, hypertrophy meaning muscle gain, the rep ranges are going to be typically between 6 to 12 for the most part. Sets are a little bit less as you're cramming more volume per set, and weights are going to be a little bit less as well in order to actually reach those repetitions. You can have a good mix of both if you'd like. Of course, you can always just focus on one or the other more so depending on what you would prefer, whether it's strength or hypertrophy, but you do have that option. And personally, that's how I've set it up myself, as I do higher sets, higher weight, more intensity on those 2 starting days, and then I break it down into more volume, more repetitions, more time under tension with the push-pull legs portion of it. Okay, the next and basically final touches to this workout split is picking your isolation exercises. Remember, isolation or accessory exercises are basically exercises that are either going to assist you in getting stronger in your main lifts and or working on weaker body parts, or in other words, body parts that aren't being hit very directly throughout the majority of the workout. So for example, on an upper day, you're doing lots of pressing, lots of pulling, but you may not directly be focusing and isolating the biceps and the triceps. So maybe you want to do something like that and you want to add bicep and tricep work to get a little bit more growth in that area. Or if you want to keep it to strength on those first 2 days, you can do accessory lifts that are going to aid you in the main lifts. So if your main lift is a bench press, one of your accessory lifts may be a close grip bench press, as this is going to help you in strengthening that main lift. On the hypertrophy days, you can of course make the isolation just hitting certain muscles, maybe like a lateral delt, a rear delt, a bicep, tricep, forearm, calves, these types of things. That's up to you. You can still make the accessory exercises on your hypertrophy days dedicated towards the strength lifts, and vice versa. Again, if you decide to just go purely hypertrophy, all of your accessory will be linked to building and developing the muscle in certain areas that aren't being hit directly. And if you decide to go strength for the entire program, then of course all of your accessories should be dedicated towards increasing or aiding the strength that you gain on your main lifts. When you pick these isolation, you should really only be picking 1 to 2 of these exercises per workout. This is going to depend on how much time you have for it. You can choose more if you'd like. Sometimes you may not get around to doing 2 or 1 at all, depending on time restrictions, etc. But again, these exercises are still pretty important, and I do recommend that you do at least 1 to 2 of them per workout, because the last thing we want is to look unbalanced and we halt our strength gains on our main lifts. Okay, so the accessory is still important. People ask me what accessory is. That is what it is. It accessorizes the main thing, but it is still important. Keep that in mind. It's near the end of your workout after you've done your main work. It's going to be higher repetitions, regardless of if it's for strength Or for hypertrophy, you would want somewhere between 2 to 4 sets per exercise of your accessory work, and the reps are going to be between 8 to 12 for the most part. Also, these can be exercises that hit your core if you want to hit some more core, some more abs, some lower back, and other areas that again can be easily neglected throughout the core of the workout. Next, of course, is the progression in the workout. Now, progression is going to depend on the level of experience that you're at, assuming that you are closer to beginner to intermediate, because if not, you probably know how to set up your own split by now. Then we're going to make sure that we track our workouts. Tracking your workout is key because this is going to ensure that you know exactly what you need to do next week to progress from this week. Progression is everything in these workout splits. That's why overthinking the exercise and how you set it up isn't as important as actually tracking and making sure you're getting stronger in those exercises. Again, 99% of people do not do this, but it is by far the thing that's made the biggest difference in my life and my clients' lives. I recommend that you track your workouts so that you can progress week to week. And of course, you do want to monitor and see when you need a deload. Deload meaning when you back off a little bit because you're getting overly fatigued from continuously progressing. You back off for a week. Typically, you deload 4 to 8 weeks, okay? So either on the 4th week or the 8th week. And this is going to help dissipate fatigue so that you can continue progressing from there. If you need some more instruction on how to deload, you can check out this video where I explain it more in detail. And of course, guys, you cannot ignore the extra stuff that needs to be in place to make the most out of this split. Remember, working out is one of the smallest portions of all of this. How's your diet, your sleep, your water, your stretching, your cardio, your stress? All of these factors play 10 times a bigger role into how good the results you see are, as opposed to which exercise you did when or how many reps you did this week than last week. All of those other factors are going to facilitate the gains you'll make through a program like this. All right, so now I'm gonna break down a very quick sample workout to kind of bring together everything I explained in here to illustrate how you can do this for yourself. In fact, you can follow this exact workout. It is quite similar to the workout I'm on currently, and so this one was easy for me to make. So first thing, day one, we're gonna start with an upper day. We're gonna start with the flat bench press barbell. We're gonna do 4 to 6 reps. Keep in mind, on this day, I am focusing a little bit more on strength. So lower reps, higher weight. 4 sets, 6 reps. After that, I do weighted chins. So I started with a press. I'm going to go to a pull. Weighted chins, I'm doing 4 sets of 5 reps. Again, keeping that rep range low. The weight's going to be pretty high. Following that, I'm going to do an incline dumbbell press for 3 sets of 8 reps, followed by a hammer strength row, okay, which is a machine row, 3 sets of 8 reps as well. So there's a good balance of push to pull in this first workout. Next, I'm going to be choosing a close grip bench, 4 by 6 reps, and followed by a barbell curl. So these can be counted as accessory, as the barbell curl should help me in strengthening my forearms and my biceps for the chin up. Close grip bench strengthening all of the muscles for my pressing on the bench press. So that works well there. From here, I'm gonna pick 2 accessory exercises now. It may be bodybuilding ones, shoulder exercises, maybe like side delt, face pull, maybe it's core exercises. Either way, it could be like a sit-up or a leg raise or a plank, anything like this. I'm gonna choose 2 of those. And again, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Day 2, we're going for a lower day, okay? And we're going to be starting with a squat, 5 sets of 5 reps, followed by a hip thrust, 3 sets of 6 reps. Again, the weight is high here. Then it's going to be a lunge, 3 sets of 8 reps, and followed up by 1 to 2 isolations. So there's only 3 main compounds for this leg day, but again, it's because they're going to be heavy, lots of weight, complex exercises. They're going to take a lot out of us, and they're going to take a while to accomplish. So from there, 1 to 2 isolation could be something like a leg extension and a calf raise, or only calf raises, or even a hamstring curl, something along those lines. 2 to 3 sets per for 8 to 12 reps. Then we're gonna rest on day 3. Day 4 is gonna be a push day. Here's gonna be focused more on hypertrophy. So we're gonna start with a flat dumbbell press for 4 sets of 10 reps. Then it's an incline barbell press, 3 sets of 12 reps. Again, higher reps, lower weight. Followed by a chest fly, which is an isolation, because again, we can pack in more volume on the chest, considering this is strictly a push day. Followed up by lateral raise, 3 sets of 10. The chest fly is 3 sets of 15, by the way. Lateral raise, 3 sets of 10. Face pull, 3 sets of 15 reps. then tricep push down 3 sets of 8 to 10, and skull crusher 3 sets of 8 to 10. Keep in mind, I did not mention the isolation here because they're kind of embedded in this workout. We're assuming that you're gonna have enough time for them, and they go really well with the entire push theme of the workout. So day 5 is pull day. Here we're gonna start with close grip pull downs. We're gonna do 4 sets of 10 reps. Then it's bent over rows, 3 sets of 8 reps, cable row, 2 sets of 10, cable pullovers, 2 sets of 10. We're gonna do some delts, so a side lateral fly, followed by some bicep curls. This could be a barbell bicep curl and a dumbbell curl, or you can do 1 exercise of delts, 1 exercise of biceps. That's up to you, 8 to 10 reps for those. Next, and the last day is legs. So for legs this time, we're gonna start with a different variation of the squat. So in this case, it's going to be a front squat for 4 sets of 8 reps. Then we're gonna go into a regular deadlift. So the reps are gonna be a little bit lower, but again, we're not overthinking this, okay? 4 sets of 6 reps on a deadlift. Next up is leg press, 3 sets of 10 reps, hamstring curl, 3 sets of 12 reps, standing and seated calf raises, 4 sets each, 12 to 15 reps each. Day 7, we're gonna rest and we're gonna repeat. Remember, we're gonna track everything, make sure we're progressing, and just like that, you have yourself a killer 5-day split that's going to maximize muscle gain, maximize enjoyment, strength as well, and it's gonna keep you crushing it so long as you track, get everything else on point, diet, sleep, water, you're gonna be good to go. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you learned from it, and if you're going to be doing this split, comment down below 5-day gains, and I'll know that you're the real MVP that watched this all the way through. Thank you so much, guys. Let me know any other topics you want to see on and be sure to make them for you. Like, comment, share, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will be seeing you in the next one. As always, I'm out.